Hello there.
Hi.
Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to Messing About with a Narrowboat. So we start with an apology. It's been 4 weeks.
Nearly 4 weeks now.
Since we last put out a video. And there are a few reasons for that. We both caught the cold. I got it worse.
You did. You had the typical the man flu.
Still kind of
stuck
got
in
it.
bed.
Ended up with a chest infection, which just absolutely floored me. And then after that, well, it was brewing anyway. I was getting a bit thingy. I completely lost my mojo. I've lost all confidence of doing stuff on the boat, didn't I?
You did.
Every time I tried to come down, if I could find an excuse not to be here, I found the excuse.
Yeah, you just needed a bit of time.
And I was just exhausted, I think. There's so much ahead of me still. There's only a few things to do, but it's just enormous. And
You got overwhelmed by it all.
I did.
Yeah, anyway, we're back.
We're back. Hopefully got the mojo back.
Yeah.
So picking up where we left off the last time, we started doing the window liners. I knew things were bad. I started cutting the wood and I was cutting it wrong. I was measuring it all right, and then when I put it onto the wood, I measured it all wrong and cut it wrong. So like 700 mil was the measurement in the windows. I measured 690 on the wood and I cut it at 680. Wasted wood. And I think that's just when the cold came in and floored me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this week, let's get these window liners done.
Absolutely.
And if I can get the doors done, let's get the doors done.
And you've done the mushroom vents now as well.
And we'll ease back into it, I think. I'm still a bit...
I know, you've got to ease back in.
Still a bit breathless, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But...
it's lack of exercise.
Well, you know the old thing, feed a cold and starve a fever? I fed my cold a lot.
Yeah, you don't know the difference. No. Anyway,
yep, a lot. I've got shares in McDonald's now.
Nothing to laugh at.
Oh dear.
Nothing to laugh at.
I know. I'll get out the boat and I'll lift my lardy tummy with me.
Oh.
Right, so let's get on with these window liners. So that's the mushroom vents all done because it stopped raining. And it's just kind of typical of the troubles that I've been having, the loss of confidence and lack of ability. I've been putting this off and putting it off. It took me 20 minutes to do all the mushroom vents just to put some sealant round the side. And I just don't know why I've been putting it off. It's just been one of those things. As I said, loss of confidence. Hopefully I've got my mojo back. Alright, so back to these window liners and a bit of trimming up. Roma and I cut all the wood, but as we learned from the bow windows, if you run, can't see it because it's black, but there are little spot welds running down here. So that's pushing the window liner out. And there's a bit of mastic down here and that's pushing the window liner out, so when I put it in, it's not sitting flush. So on the bow windows, basically I cut a 3mm rabbet down either side, but as I say, I left my router at home, so I'm just planing off the corners and just making it fit. That's better. It fits in, it's not rocking. Got a good closeness to it. A wee bit more there.
That looks alright.
Absolutely fine.
That looks fine.
Yep, good. Happy with that. Right, pocket hole screws. Let's see if all my measuring worked. Yay!
Result. That's pretty good. Ooh. Yeah.
That's all right,
really
isn't it?
Good. That is good.
That's awesome. Right, just needs a bit of sanding to level it off, and then we can varnish it
really
up.
good. That's a really good job. Okay, that's those bits in now. So they just need a little bit of sanding and varnishing and be absolutely perfect.
So, next job. Going to put in the window frames. And there's a couple of ways to do this. These are 25mm deep, plus I want another lip on top of it so that the draft excluder, the weather seal, can go up against it and then press against the window. So it needs to be about 44mm thick. And there's a couple of ways to do this. I could have put just a piece of framing wood and then a thin bit of oak on top of it. But I looked at it and I decided that for the extra amount of work of putting 2 layers of wood on there versus the cost of just buying the oak at 44mm 2x2, it was just a bit of a no-brainer, really. It wasn't that much difference in cost. I think about £10. So that's what we went for. So I've got a nice big long bit of oak, 44mm by 44mm, aided by my very capable assistant, who's going to hold a bit of wood level while I chop it up.
There you go then.
So that just pops in there, like that. That gives me an edge there, but it does stick out, so it's not quite 44 deep. I think it was about 40.
Yeah.
So I'll need to mark it and trim it. But before I do that, you see that it's rocking. That's because there are welds there, and there's a weld there. So I need to take the weld out of here, make a little gap for it to push in against. So I'm just going to mark where that weld is, and then chisel it out. Yeah, so we just dug out a channel that side, and
That's much
just
better.
pops on. Doesn't wobble anymore.
That's a good result.
Yeah, it's good that. Now I can accurately measure,
Yeah, to cut the edge off that.
and then I can run it through the table saw
Yeah.
and give it a nice cut.
Yep. Perfect.
And that's the top one cut, and you can see it rocking on the welds.
Oh
Yeah. So we just need to channel those welds out so that it fits flush all the way along. There's quite a big gap there. The weld's about 3mm deep. So
yeah. Okay.
yeah, so I'm just gonna mark them out and cut it. Well, that's enough for today. We've got the makings of the window ledge, the window liner done, but it's getting late and we're a wee bit tired, saying it's our first day back after 4 weeks. Right, back at it today. I have to confess I'm a bit exhausted. Still not over that cold. It's just a bit of a struggle to breathe sometimes. But more of the same today. Cracking on with the window liners. So that's one window frame done. I'm just deciding about how best to do an edge on it. So obviously it needs cutting down to shape, but looking at trim, do I do a round over bit of trim quite close to the edge? Do I move it out a bit? Now I know I'm not very good at cutting miters, so if I was to do a miter, I'm probably going to get a big gap in it. So I'm kind of thinking, let's not. And that's obviously going to, it's just there to cover I mean, the cutting's pretty good. Maybe a bit of caulk would be all that needs, actually. Because it's so, I've cut it so well that there's not much of a gap there at all. So, yeah, so just down the side there really isn't a gap. Maybe a bit of caulk or putting a picture frame around it. Can't decide, genuinely can't decide. So, let me know in the comments, picture frame or nothing, because that's such a big, wide bit of oak. It's just gonna, see, picture frame's nice, but yeah. I'm off again. See, this is what I've been struggling with. I get to a point where I understand everything that I've got to do, but right at this point, when I have to make a decision, my lack of experience kicks in and I can't decide. Convention says you do a picture frame around the edge of the window. I don't know. See, I'm still struggling with just confidence. Oh, shut up. Time for the port window. So, cut the wood. I'm now just chiseling out the channel for the welds. So, about an hour later, I've got that one in. Now, it doesn't need trimmed up as much as the starboard side, so I might just plane it along the edge just to make it fit, rather than cut 4mm off it. Time for a spot of lunch, and I sit down because my legs are sore because I haven't been standing for weeks. Oh dear. And you can tell the water must be back into the Grand Union Canal because there's quite a lot of boats have come in for blacking. They must have been queued up waiting for because the canals have been closed due to water shortages in the summer. So there's been some movement. The downside of that is that one of the boats that's come in had loads of little muscle things growing on it, and they've been blasting it off, and it stinks of dead seafood. Oh, a boat honks, and I've got the windows open because I'm doing the window liners. Oh dear goodness. Yep, 3 boats in this morning and a new neighbour. Well, that's a good day's work. That's that window frame all in. So that glue needs to dry, and then I need to varnish it up and all that yada yada yada. But that's a good day's work. And so the days and days and days of varnishing starts. That's a second coat before I go down the boat today. And I'm using Osmo UV protection oil, clear satin. And that's because the guys at the lumberyard said the Poly-X oil is good, but internal. If you want, like, these are windows, so they're going to be exposed to UV and the outside. So they said use the UV protection oil. It's a bit better. So that's what I'm using. Oh wow, it's cold on the boat today. It's only 12 degrees Celsius. Right, jobs today. Finish off the window lining. That window frame to do. And I've got the liners to make for those windows. And a pile of wood. I'll sand this up as well and just double check it all. So I took all the bits of wood for the window frame home last night and I cut it on the table saw. Just the planing yesterday took me a long time. So I just thought, just run it through the table saw. It was 10 times quicker. Well, that worked. So it's lovely. It just saved me so much effort. The planing just took too long. But obviously there's no room in the boat for a table saw, and there's nowhere for me to do any of that here. So, glue it and screw it. And of course, inevitably, further to the weather forecast, it started to rain. And I've got the windows open. So I'm stopping for lunch. Coffee! But I have made an absolutely terrible discovery. I don't know how I'm going to live with this discovery. McDonald's don't deliver to the boatyard. A little bit later, that's that one all glued and screwed, so we'll give the glue some time to dry. It's a little tight in the corner, but I'll just sand that out. So after a fair bit of fettling in, planing in, going round the edges and just getting angles right, because those windows are just tiny bit not square. And they're slightly different heights. Anyway, so that's it. Let's give it a tidy up, a sanding, and we'll glue it and screw it. Now, I'm not showing a huge amount on camera because I did that on the first lot, and it really is just repeat. You know, trim it out, cut it to size, put pocket holes in it. Yeah, just keep going. I was enjoying myself too much. What a bloody idiot. Putting pocket holes in the wrong side of the wood. Yeah, okay. Right, luckily I've got a spare. I just need to do all of that all over again. Get the planer out. Here we go. 10 minutes later, I've made a new one. Luckily, because I already had one, I got all the sizes and stuff, so there was nothing to work out. It's just size, chop, plane it off the edges. Done. Right, let's crack on. Now, I must be getting my mojo back because that didn't faze me at all. 2 weeks ago, that would have sent me to bed. That's a good day's work. That's both of them done. The other one is just on the bench drying. Anyway, so that means tomorrow I'll do the final fitting. It always shifts a little bit when you join it all up together because everything's nice and tight. So it might need a little bit of fine tuning. So I'm really happy. It's been a good productive day actually. I'm having a bit of a quiet day today. I'm a little bit tired, but also because in one of life's ironies, I get my flu jab today. So first coat on the window frames of the UV protection oil. That takes 12 hours to dry. So it's Thursday now. So it'll be dry by Friday. I'll give it another coat, which will dry on Saturday. At which point I can get the other two liners done. And that'll take me into Monday. And hopefully I can get them all fitted. So I'm not going to do much today other than just fettle in the window liners that I've done. Yeah, that's it really. Sand them up and then bring them back for varnishing. So at the moment I am single tasking because it's important to me to single task at the moment, just to get everything settled down in my head. And for info, that's the second coat of the Osmo UV protection oil on the hatch liners. Now it's had overnight to dry, it's had about 20 hours, but I can see that it still needs, it's touch dry, it's handleable, but I would definitely think it needs another few days to fully cure. Looks nice though. Yeah, very pleased with that. They've come up really nice with the frame around it and whatever trim I eventually figure out what I'm doing. That's okay. So I've got wood being varnished on the boat, wood being varnished in my garage, and now wood being varnished in the house. With a bit of luck, it'll all be done by Saturday. Another day, and I'm really not going to show very much at all. I've just done the second coat on all of the window frames, so that's taken me a little while. So I've got varnished wood everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And if you're wondering just how much I've got to do, there's the wardrobe that I've been trying to restore. So I've sanded all of that and I've given bits of it one coat of a stain. There's more of it. There's more over here. There's more over there. But as it's a rainy day, I'm just going to do some varnishing. But I don't think I'm going to go down the boat today. I am tired. It's been a enjoyable but long first week back after a month off. Plus I didn't sleep well last night. I started to do what I've been doing for a while now, is starting to think about all of the things that I have to do, and it kind of, well, an anxiety attack. Not bad, but you know, just it's October now, beginning of October, and in my head I wanted to be finished by now. 18 months to 2 years is what I gave myself as a target. I wanted really, the wishful part of that was finishing by my birthday, which is next week. It would have been brilliant, but that's not to be, and I think it was been preying on my mind a little bit. So we're going to wrap up this week's video here. Now, I hope you don't mind me talking about this stuff. It's not often I get anxious about stuff. I'm really quite a calm person most of the time. Tell that to my kids. This channel was always about a daily diary of me and Roma doing our boat fit out. Mostly me as a retirement project. I am an amateur, okay? I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a builder. I'm a pretty good DIYer. I've built things. I've built our kitchen. I built the bathroom. I've built furniture. But you know, that's just small things, and enough to give me the confidence to do this as a retirement project. So it'll take as long as it takes. But the idea was always to show it as a daily diary, kind of warts and all. You know, you see so many videos that go, right, yeah, here's one I made. And it's like, okay, what's the process? So with our channel, it's the process. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. I have to do an awful lot of research, let's be honest. You know, I look things up and I talk to a few people. But it's like everything when you talk to people. You talk to 5 people, you get 12 different answers. So sometimes you're just kind of on your own and you have to figure it out. So that's what our channel is about. It's a warts and all. The good bits, the rubbish bits, like me drilling pocket holes in the wrong bloody side of the wood. Because that's what people do, right? That's just Unless it's your job and you do it day in, day out, you make mistakes, and this is what this is showing. So my anxiety about where we are in a build, my grand designs moment, if you like, it feels appropriate to show that on the channel. So I'm going to call it there, and we'll see you next time.